can lead to people eating more than the recommended amounts of sugar, salt, and fats, as they may not be aware of how much has been added to the food they are buying and eating. So people just buy processed foods and they don't look at the ingredients and how much sugar it is, how much fat's in it, and all this kind of stuff. They just buy it. And so what happens is when the body begins to break it down, guess what? You have too much sugar, you have too much fat from what you just ate. And then you're going to continue to eat throughout the day. Yeah, that's the beginning and the end right there. Refined carbohydrates and sugars raise the blood sugar. So watch this. These foods can also be higher in calories due to high amounts of added sugar or fat in them. So it raises that one food. If it wasn't processed, it has the right amount of calories and fats and sugars that you need. But through the processed situation, they add more fat, they add more sugar, they add more additives, they add a lot of stuff in it. Why? Because they want the life shelf to sit on the shelf for a longer period of time. Okay? Not only that, they want it to taste savory. Right? But when that happens, when you intake it into your body and digest it, it poisons the body. It skyrockets your sugar level, your blood pressure. Your blood the heart begins to rapidly beat, and the blood is beating against your vessels, just hitting those vessels hard, which causes high blood pressure. Okay? So you have no control over the amount of salt, sugar, and fat in processed foods, right? You don't have no control over that. What they put in there is what they put in there. You either buy it or you're not, okay? You have no control over the amount of salt, sugar, and fat and processed foods, but you do have control over what you choose to buy. Reading nutritious labels can help you choose between processed products and keep a check on fat, salt, and sugar contents. Most pre-packed foods have the nutritious information on the front, back, or side of the packaging. Okay? And then some of them have guidelines of how much you need to intake. Like, say for instance, if you buy like some high sugary food and they say you're only supposed to eat 3 of them. You know good as well you ain't gonna pop 3 chips or 3 chocolate-filled almonds or whatever. You ain't gonna pop that in your mouth and say, okay, I got my nutritious value. No, you're gonna take a handful and you're gonna pop it in your mouth and you're gonna eat some more sugary processed foods. What else causes the forming of diabetes? Stress. Stress causes diabetes because stress hinders the what? The circulation. Stress hinders circulation. Low amounts of fiber. Low amounts of fiber is the borderline of no return, because what happens is fiber, you can't digest the fiber. But what your body does is it uses the fiber as a broom to sweep out your colon. Okay? A lot of people have big fat bellies because they have a lot of feces. It's their colon sticking out. It's not just the fat, the visceral fat. It's not just the fat underneath the skin. It's actually their colon sticking out because it's full of feces. And also a high amount of toxin. And remember, we found out that toxin covers the receptor, the insulin receptors that's on the cell walls. Second tool. Heart disease and stroke are the leading causes of early death in people with diabetes. Okay? So, heart disease, strokes are the leading cause of early death in people with diabetes. So, about 65% of people with diabetes die from one of these 2 conditions. They die from heart disease or from a stroke. Majority of the time, it's heart attacks. The heart stops. Okay? Heart attacks and stroke results from what? Same blood circulation problems. Did you catch that? Or sometimes blood clots. Diabetics suffer from blood clots because the circulation, the circulatory mechanism that God created is not properly working. So because of that, because of the blood circulation problems, no oxygen is getting to the heart stops. There's life in the blood, the oxygen is the life of Christ. If the life of Christ is not getting to the heart stops. If the oxygen is not getting to the brain, a stroke happens. Okay? But you can lower your risk by controlling your blood glucose. Lowering your blood pressure and cholesterol and not smoking. How diabetes affects blood circulation. High blood glucose leads to poor circulation. Did you hear that? High blood glucose, or high glucose in the blood leads to poor circulation. Blood clots and high blood pressure. Okay? If you have a high blood glucose level in your blood, it causes poor circulation. Poor circulation causes blood clots and high blood pressure, which are at the root of heart disease and strokes. So if your blood is high of glucose, this will cause poor circulation. Then you see why these people foot and all kind of stuff at the bottom, because usually when the body is trying to keep the heart healthy. The body is trying to survive. It becomes survival. It's in a survival mode. So what happens is your heart, the body is trying to keep you alive by retaining the vital powers for these vital organs to continue to function, to keep you alive. So the body say, you know what? We can do without the foot. We can do without the arms. We can do without fingers. We can do it without toes. We can live without that, but we can't live without the heart. So the body has to look at the finger that it was born with and say, we have to let you go. Amen? So you cause your members to sin. What did Paul say? Paul said, sin not, neither cause any of your members to sin. And so sin, amputation is the result of sin. Okay? So blood clots and high blood pressure all comes from poor circulation. So if you have high sugar, high glucose in the blood, you will have poor circulation. So poor circulation is the root of heart disease and strokes. Poor circulation will cause blood clots. Because your blood is supposed to flow like living waters. But when there's poor circulation, it don't flow properly and it begins to clog up. And so what happens is you have clogs going up in your vein and it travels, because remember, the circulation of the heart. Blood comes through the heart, it pumps blood throughout your whole body, but those clogs is steadily going up to that heart. When it goes into that heart, the heart pumps. When it pumps blood, it opens up, it clogs it, and it can't open. Massive heart attack. Massive heart attack. Amen? So, reduced blood flow, high blood pressure. People with diabetes tend to have high levels of LDL, which is bad cholesterol. Remember what cholesterol is now. If you have a lot of visceral fat, the liver takes that fat and turns it to cholesterol. It goes into the blood and when it goes into the blood, it begins to clog up the what? Arteries. There go another heart attack. Okay? But you say you tested by God. That's not a test from God. That's my people destroyed for lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. My people destroyed for lack of knowledge. Why? Because we don't want to study this stuff. It is our job to study the anatomy of the body and how the body functions and how to heal the body. That's our job. The Bible said, James said, in James 4:8, he said, draw nigh to God, verse 9, draw nigh to God and he'll draw nigh to you. It is our job to draw nigh to God and ask for wisdom and knowledge pertaining to life. We're not to just trust in the white coats. We're not to trust in the next man. We are to do our research because the Bible tells us, study to show yourself approval. It is our job to study that, not nobody else's job to tell us. Our job. So, high levels of LDL, which is bad cholesterol, low levels of HDL, which is good cholesterol. So what you think the visceral fat falls under? Just fat that's right there in the midst of your vital organs, right in the midsection. What do you think that falls in there? Just sitting there, no water, because fat don't hold water. And you burn it, that's bad cholesterol. And it's going to keep burning it. It's too much fat there to where the organs can't really send signals to one another because they are covered and drowned by visceral fat. Hardening of the arteries. This condition happens when fatty deposits, cholesterol, and other substances build up on the artery walls. But you tempted by God. God is testing me. God ain't testing you. He's pitying you. You're dying because of appetite and poor lifestyle. This buildup, called plaque, reduces the flow of blood to the heart. It does what? It reduces the flow to the blood to the heart, brain, and kidneys. Now you see why diabetics be on what? Dialysis. Kidney dialysis. What's happening with this person? Because of the buildup of plaque, it reduces flow to the heart, to the brain, to the kidneys, and dialysis is to get blood flow, oxygen, nutrients to the kidneys to keep it alive. And it increases blood pressure. High blood glucose causes artery wall stiffening, which also increases blood pressure. Got nothing to do with God testing you. God ain't testing you. Amen? Blood clots more easily. High blood glucose makes the blood sticky. Okay? That's how you formulate the what? The blood clots. Lack of circulation. The blood is sluggish. It becomes thick. And all that sugar that's in the blood causes it to be sticky, which formulates blood clots. It can also cause small blood vessels to what? Leak. My goodness. You got a problem within your body. Together, these factors can cause blood clots to occur. High blood glucose. Sometimes plaque in the artery breaks off and causes blood clots to form. These clots can block the blood flow right where they are. You ever seen your sink get clogged up? Have your sink ever got clogged up? What happens to that flow of water? It can't get through. It starts building up, building up, building up, building up. And so when it can't get through, when water and oxygen is not getting to each tissue or each cell in the body, that cell begins to die. When that cell begins to die, and you are made up of cells, you begin to die. Amen? So sometimes plaque in an artery break off, it causes blood clots to form. These clots can block the blood flow right where they are. When this happens in the blood vessels that feeds the heart, okay, the result is a heart attack. When a clot blocks a blood vessel that feeds the brain, the result is a stroke. That's how they die. I'm showing you how you die with diabetes. God didn't take him, okay? That's what we want to believe. We have another angel in heaven. God did not take them. They died. That's the bottom line. Let's stop blaming stuff and look at the truth. The truth should set us free. And once we understand that the truth, what the truth is, then we can come back and put up our faith, which is our shield. And our faith comes by what? Hearing the word of God. Once we understand the word of God, we will build faith. When we build faith, true, genuine faith is action. We will put our faith to action and we begin to live a godly life, mind, body, and soul. Love the Lord with all your heart. Be good to your heart by your diet. Love your God with your mind. Be good to your mind with your diet. And with your soul, the Bible said in Genesis that God breathed the breath of life into Adam. He became a living soul. With your whole being, you be good to your whole person by your diet, by knowledge, by wisdom of studying the healthy form. So I'm showing you how you die with diabetes. It ain't the fact God seen him suffering, he took him. No, he died from a stroke. Do you actually think that God would have you to die from a stroke and a heart attack? If God gonna take you, you're gonna go peacefully. Not that ain't no God, that's a God. I don't want to die like that. Suffering. That ain't no God. Having a stroke, you fall out. So God did that? Please, God didn't do that. God didn't do that. Satan know all about this. Did you hear that? Satan know all about how to tempt the body, tempt the soul, that person, to have a high processed, refined, salty, sugary, saturated fat diet. Because he knows what will happen to the person. So Satan wants you to die in your sins. If you can die in your sins, Satan himself will not be responsible for your life. You would die and you will be held accountable for your own sins. But if you die in Christ, the devil will have to suffer for all the times you fail. So the devil is trying to lessen his sentence of burning in the hellfire before he be burned out. So what the devil does, he understands how the body operates. And so Satan knows all about this. Traveling clocks can also cause blockage in other parts of the body, such as the legs. Your legs, feet get oxygen from blood vessels. Amen? Your vessels is the highway of the body, right? So your legs and feet get oxygen from the blood vessels. If these blood vessels are damaged, you might have foot sores and ulcers. That's how you get foot sores and ulcers, okay? This can even lead to having to have foot removed. Right? So, blood, high glucose levels, high blood pressure, high cholesterol damages the blood vessels. Remember, it can cause the vessels to leak. Heart. You can cause a heart attack we talking about blood clots, okay? It can cause heart attacks or heart failures. Kidneys, it can cause kidney diseases and kidney failures. Mouth, dry mouth, infections, cavities, swelling gums, gum disease, eyes, poor vision, blindness, cataracts, diabetic, eye disease, glaucoma. Diabetes. Diabetes is a group of diseases characterized by elevated blood glucose levels due to defects in insulin secretions, insulin action, or both. According to the ADA, which is the American Diabetes Association, type 2 diabetes usually begins with insulin resistance. For those people whose bodies resist insulin, the pancreas releases extra insulin to maintain normal glucose levels. Did you hear that? So, your pancreas kick out insulin so the insulin can carry it into the cells. That's the purpose of kicking out insulin. Right? But if you have a high-fatty diet and your fat in your blood, it covers the receptors of the insulin receptors on the cell walls, right? It don't go through that. So what happens is your glucose level in your blood spikes high. It goes high. So your pancreas is like, oh snap, it starts kicking out more and more insulin. So it can carry it through the walls. But if it don't go through the walls, problems start happening. Problems begin to happen to the body because the body is not functioning properly. Okay? And what we just studied, the strokes and the heart attacks and the blood clots, all this is problems to the body. The result of having a high glucose blood level. Okay? So, insulin production gradually decreases and eventually reaches a level of deficiency that can no longer maintain blood glucose in the normal range. But how type 2 diabetes presents and processes can vary considerable as noted by the ADA, and methods of treatments can vary from patients to patients. Right here is like a chart. I don't know if you can see that real good, but it talks about pre-diabetes. If your blood level is 140 over 199, it could be like pre-diabetic. Good range is 126 or something. Mm-hmm. That's like pre-diabetic. It's like you in that stage. You right there, you in that stage. How to overcome? Number one, what they say, y'all? Trust in God. Fresh air, water, rest, exercise, self-control, sunlight, proper diet, never give up. That's how you overcome diabetes. Trust in divine power. Repent. Come into my life and give me your breath.